you've heard the story of Noah's Ark, but recent discoveries, from ancient tablets to leaked CIA files, are exposing a version of the Ark we were never meant to see. Satellite scans, beneath the ice, genetic evidence of a near-extinction event, and declassified intelligence suggesting the Ark may not have been a myth at all. These are the 10 most shocking, banned, and newly uncovered theories about Noah's Ark, the kind that vanish from headlines and resurface only when someone's not watching. And theory number 1, if what's in those documents is true, we've been walking on the ashes of a lost world. If you love unraveling mysteries, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. Now, let's get into it. Number 10. The Ark wasn't a boat, but a coracle. What if we've been imagining Noah's Ark all wrong? Some researchers believe the Ark wasn't a long wooden ship, but a massive, round coracle, a giant floating raft like those used by ancient Mesopotamians. These ancient circular rafts were commonly used by the people of Mesopotamia, and they were incredibly effective in rough waters. A coracle was typically made from reeds or other buoyant materials, wrapped together to form a circular shape, then coated with a waterproof substance like bitumen to keep it afloat. A 2014 discovery changed everything. An ancient Babylonian tablet described an ark shaped like a giant circle, nothing like the rectangular ship we imagine. It wasn't the rectangular, multi-level ship seen in many depictions of the Noah story. It was described as a gigantic, round vessel, built from reeds and covered in bitumen for waterproofing. The real ark could have looked more like a giant floating basket than the ship we've always envisioned. The global flood myth connection. Across nearly every ancient culture, there's one story that echoes through time, a world-ending flood. In Mesopotamia, it's the Epic of Gilgamesh, a man warned by the gods to build a giant vessel. In Hindu tradition, it's Manu, forewarned by a divine fish before the deluge. Even the Aztecs spoke of a flood so massive it wiped out humanity and reset civilization. These aren't just coincidental tales. They're global fingerprints, a haunting pattern, too similar to ignore. Some historians believe these legends point to a real, prehistoric catastrophe, a flood so devastating it burned itself into the memory of civilizations across the globe. But if that's true, where's the proof? And more importantly, what were they all trying to warn us about? Number 8. The pre-flood civilization theory. What if Noah's Ark wasn't the first rescue mission, but the last desperate attempt to save a lost world? Some researchers, like journalist and author Graham Hancock, believe that the story of Noah's Ark isn't just a moral tale. It's a fragmented memory of an ancient, forgotten civilization that vanished beneath the waves over 12,000 years ago. According to this theory, long before Noah, there existed a highly advanced society, building structures we can't explain even today, and preserving knowledge that rivaled modern science. But then, a cataclysmic flood, triggered by melting ice caps or a comet impact, wiped them out overnight. Here's the twist. Hidden beneath layers of myth, some believe Noah's Ark is a recycled story passed down from the survivors of that prehistoric disaster. Not only that, but ancient texts from Sumer, India, and even the Americas all tell eerily similar flood survival stories. Is it possible that humanity hit a reset button we've forgotten, and the Ark was simply the last boat sailing through the ruins of a once great, erased civilization? What if Noah's Ark isn't the origin story, but the epilogue of something much bigger? Number 7. The hidden Ark in Turkey. In 1959, a Turkish pilot flying over the rugged mountains of eastern Turkey captured an intriguing set of aerial photographs. Among the rough terrain, a strange boat-shaped formation stood out, an oddity that seemed too precise to be a natural rock formation. The question arose, Could this be the final resting place of Noah's Ark? The formation was located in an area known as Mount Ararat, a site traditionally associated with the Ark's landing in biblical stories. As the images drew attention, ground-penetrating radar scans were conducted in the area, revealing even more fascinating details. Structures beneath the surface that resembled rib-like patterns, an indication of something man-made, possibly the remains of a large wooden vessel. These scans showed no signs of natural erosion, suggesting that the formation might not be a rock after all. Though some skeptics argue that the shape is merely a natural geological formation, some researchers and believers remain convinced that this could be where the Ark finally came to rest after enduring the Great Flood. Number 6. The real location of Mount Ararat. Here's where they might have lied to us. For centuries, people have searched for the Ark on Mount Ararat in Turkey, but some biblical scholars argue that the Ark might not have landed there at all. Ancient texts, when closely examined and carefully translated, hint at a very different possibility. Ancient texts mention the Ark landing on a mountain in the east, but new research suggests it may not be Mount Ararat, but another peak, hidden in Iran or Armenia. Even though Mount Ararat remains the most famous contender, these alternative locations deserve attention. Satellite scans of the mountain ranges in Iran and Armenia reveal rugged terrains that could very well match the descriptions found in the ancient texts. Regardless of where it is, the Ark remains an enduring mystery. Its true resting place, whether here in the heart of Turkey or hidden elsewhere, remains elusive, sparking curiosity, debate, and adventure for generations to come. Number 5. Could Noah have really built the Ark? The Ark described in the Bible is no small structure. The dimensions described in the Bible depict a gigantic wooden structure, far larger than anything built at the time, over 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. To put this in perspective, it would dwarf the ships built by ancient civilizations, many of which were no more than small boats or rafts. So, the question arises, could ancient people really have constructed such a massive vessel using only the tools and knowledge available to them? Some theorists suggest that Noah may not have worked alone. Perhaps he was aided by divine intervention, receiving supernatural guidance in building the Ark. Others believe that lost ancient technologies, long forgotten and never passed down, may have played a key role in making such an enormous structure possible. On the other hand, some argue that the Ark may not have been a literal ship at all, but a symbolic representation. This interpretation could explain its vast size, meant to convey the overwhelming power of the flood or the divine intervention that occurred, rather than something built with human hands alone. In either case, the idea that Noah built the Ark, a ship so massive that it defies understanding, raises even more questions about the limits of ancient human ingenuity, divine guidance, or the potential existence of forgotten technologies. Number 4. The mystery of gopher wood. The Bible tells us that Noah used something called gopher wood to build the Ark, but here's the problem. No one knows what that is. It's a term that has baffled scholars for centuries. Some believe it refers to a type of laminated wood, a sophisticated technique involving layers of thin wood glued together to create a strong, flexible material. This kind of construction could explain how the Ark could withstand the forces of water for such a long period. Other theories suggest that gopher wood may have been a lost composite material, perhaps made with a combination of different natural substances to give it waterproofing properties. It's possible that the ancient people of Noah's time had access to construction methods that have since been forgotten. Interestingly, recent discoveries of ancient wooden structures, some preserved for thousands of years in archaeological digs, point to the possibility that early civilizations may have had access to advanced building techniques. Could these discoveries be hinting at a forgotten knowledge, similar to what Noah might have used when constructing the Ark? Number 3. The Black Sea Deluge Theory. In the late 1990s, geologists William Ryan and Walter Pittman proposed the Black Sea Deluge Theory, suggesting a massive flood around 5,600 BCE caused water levels to rise, submerging coastal settlements. The Black Sea was once a freshwater lake, but something catastrophic occurred. Rising water levels, possibly caused by the melting of Ice Age glaciers, began to flood the land, and salt water from the Mediterranean rushed into the lake. This sudden change in water levels and salinity could have submerged entire coastal settlements in a matter of days, wiping out communities that had lived there for thousands of years. Marine core samples extracted from the depths of the Black Sea offer significant evidence to support this theory. The layers of sediment reveal a shift from freshwater organisms, typical of the lake's environment, to saltwater species, marking the point when the floodwaters poured in, forever changing the landscape. The sudden flooding of the Black Sea would have been an unimaginable catastrophe for the people living there, potentially leading to a mass exodus or displacement of survivors. Some researchers suggest that this traumatic event could have been the source of the Noah's Ark story, passed down through oral tradition and eventually recorded in the Bible. This theory provides a fascinating link between real historical events and ancient flood myths, showing how the echoes of a real disaster could have shaped one of the most enduring stories in human history. Number 2. The DNA bottleneck theory. Here's where it gets really interesting. Genetic studies show that human DNA carries signs of a population bottleneck, meaning that at some point in history, our ancestors' numbers drastically shrank. This bottleneck doesn't just suggest a small dip in population, it points to an almost complete collapse in numbers. Some researchers believe this genetic signature is the result of a massive, catastrophic event, a global flood that could have wiped out much of humanity, leaving only a small group to repopulate the Earth. The idea is that, just as the floodwaters receded, our species slowly began to recover, but with much of our genetic diversity erased forever. An ancient flood that submerged the lands, leaving survivors clinging to higher ground. In this terrifying moment, the human population may have shrunk to a mere fraction of what it once was, and the genetic remnants of that moment have been passed down through generations. Scientists point to these genetic markers as evidence that such a reset may have actually occurred. This could provide scientific evidence that humanity truly went through a Noah-like reset, a genetic memory hidden deep in our DNA, connecting us to an ancient catastrophe. Number 1. The ultimate twist. After centuries of speculation and countless expeditions, it seems the search for Noah's Ark might finally be nearing its groundbreaking conclusion. In recent years, cutting-edge technology has provided the first real glimpse beneath the surface of Mount Ararat, and the results are nothing short of astonishing. High-resolution scans have uncovered deep, hidden voids under the ice, and these voids are large enough to contain a structure the size of Noah's Ark. For a long time, the Ark's resting place has remained a mystery, with countless expeditions failing to uncover solid evidence. But these new findings, captured with advanced scanning technology, have revealed something incredible. There's something massive buried beneath the ice, something that could very well be the Ark itself. The implications are staggering. It could be that after all these centuries, the Ark has been waiting for the right moment to be found. With the technology to peer deeper into Mount Ararat, the mystery is closer than ever to being solved. We are standing on the precipice of a discovery that could change everything. Regardless, Noah's Ark remains a powerful symbol of faith, survival, and divine intervention. It continues to inspire debates, expeditions, and reinterpretations, proving that some legends never fade away. Find stories like these intriguing? Then don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Drop your ideas in the comments. We'll choose the most fascinating one, bring it to life, and give you a shout out in the next video.